Hello and welcome to this course. This is a trigonometry course, a full course in university. We just want to look at the introduction of trigonometry first. You look at the introduction of trigonometry, and with the introduction, you are going to start with angles. And we all know that angles are from when two lines meet at a common point. That's what we were taught in SHS, and it's never lie. It's a true statement. Is that okay? In the same way, we can also say that an angle is formed by rotating its endpoint. Is that okay? So what you are saying is very simple. There's the endpoint, that's the vectors. So let me put arrows here. And these arrows or these lines are called rays, because we know that when you know an endpoint of a particular line and the other endpoint is not known, is called what? A ray. When I rotate this ray, then it's formed, and you see this is the endpoint, then we are saying that we are trying to form what? An angle. We are trying to form, let's say, angle A. Good. So now the initial point is called initial side, the initial line, and the ending point is called the terminal side. The terminal side. And this is the fixed point called the vectors. The vectors. Very good. So it's the same thing that I've done here. The terminal side, the initial side, and the vectors. So this is the initial, that's the x. Then we have rotated it anti-clockwise or counter-clockwise. So that's what we have here. And that's the terminal what? Side. Is that okay? So that is just the definition of what? An angle. Now let's look at types of an angle. Types of an angle. Okay, so let's further look at this one. Types of angles. So we have the positive and the negative angle. In fact, we have the standard one there, but that's what I'm going to focus on, the positive and the negative angles. So when you say a positive angle, it's just like the positive angle is when you move what? The counter-clockwise. The counter-clockwise, the same as the anti-clockwise, we know that one. And the negative angle is when you move the clockwise, the clockwise. Is that okay? So you know how the counterclockwise move? When I stand on the positive x-axis, and always angles are moving on the positive x-axis. So when I stand here, so this becomes the initial side, then I move backward, that's the counter, and that becomes the terminal side. It's the same thing when I stand at the positive x-axis, then I move downwards like it becomes the negative angle, and that's the clockwise. When you move clockwise, it's negative. When you move what? Anti-clockwise or the counterclockwise, it is what? Positive angle. Now let's look at another types of angles, because when I say types of angles, I think, or maybe you were thinking of maybe the acute angles and stuff. Yes, there are also types of angles, so let's look at those ones too. Okay, so let's look at this other types. So we have the acute angle, you have the obtuse angle, the reflex angle, the right angle, straight angle, complementary angle, then supplementary what? Angle. Now when we say an acute angle, what does it mean? We are saying that an acute angle is a type of angles whose measure is always less than 90 degrees. 90 degrees. So when we have an angle that is from 0 degrees to 89.9 degrees, then you can say that that type of angle is what? An acute angle. Is that okay? So the measure of an acute angle is always less than 90 degrees. So we say that if theta is the angle, then it's always less than 90 degrees. Now let's look at an obtuse angle. Unlike the acute angle that is less than 90 degrees, obtuse angle is what? Greater than 90 degrees, but what happened is that it's less than 180 degrees. Okay, so for the obtuse, it's greater than 90 degrees. So from like 91 to 100 and let's say 79.9. Is that okay? So if theta is the angle, we are saying that this is how it goes. 90 degrees 180 degrees. So it's greater than 90 but less than what? 180. Then reflex also just follows like the obtuse. The reflex is also greater than 180 but less than what? 360. So we are saying that the reflex, if the angle is theta, then the reflex is greater than 180 but less than 360 degrees. Less than 360 degrees. Now let's look at right angle. It's a type of angle whose measure is what? Exactly 90 degrees. So we are saying that right angle is equals to what? 90 degrees. Now let's also look at, and normally this is how the right angle is drawn. And you put, this is the symbol for what? Right angle. So the symbol for right angle is this. Okay. Now let's look at a straight angle. A straight angle. A straight angle is also a type of angle whose measure is exactly 180 degrees. So theta is equals to 180 degrees. Okay, so it's always on a straight line like this. So 180 degrees. I hope you can see that. Then we also have the complementary angle, then supplementary angle. What is the difference between the complementary and the supplementary? The complementary angle sum up to 90 degrees. So like this. And we know that already here is 90. So let's say here is A and here is B. Then we are saying that A plus B is equals to 90 degrees. So when you have an angle whose sum is what? 90 degrees, that we can say that that angle is a supplementary angle. Then the complementary, we can say that that angle is complementary angle. When the sum is 90 is complementary angle. Then when we have an angle whose sum is 180, then we can say it's what? Supplementary angle. So that's basically the types of angle. We have seen the positive angle. That's where you are moving to the counterclockwise. That's the anti-clockwise. Then you have also seen the negative angle. That's where we are moving toward the clockwise direction. And I think that is clear. You have also seen that the acute angle is always less than 90. Then the obtuse is always greater than 90 but less than 180. Then we also see the reflex always being greater than 180 by less than 360 degrees. And we have the right angle. We are saying that is exactly 90 degrees. The measure of it is exactly 90 degrees. And the straight angle is also, the measure of it is exactly 180 degrees. And we have the complementary angle, the sum. So the complementary angle is talking about sum. You add something to get 90 degrees. And the supplementary is just talking about also adding something to get 180 degrees. I hope this is good to you. Next thing, you look at how to convert degrees and time. Thank you very much. Please make sure that you subscribe for me and share to your page, your group members and your friends. Thank you.